Welcome back to the channel, guys. Team Silverback here. We got most of the squad right here. Hand it out. Show everybody. Alright, so today we were at the case tournament for Imperial for the newest set. Long story short, I played Sky Strikers. I learned the deck in a little bit of an hour. Not perfect with the deck, but I got top 16 with it, with the new stuff. So I figured to just showcase what people, what I was playing. So without further ado, let's get into it. So, move this out the way. So, right off the bat, the Sky Striker stuff, basic. We played 3 Array, 1 Rose, and then today I just played one of the Hemp because I needed a 40th card.
Because you're a stoner.
bro. Anyway, it was a last second build. I literally built it in like within an hour of the event and everything. But I just really had a gut feeling to play Sky Strikers. I wanted to really just, have some fun, especially because someone was using my Products Prosperities and then they got clapped 2 events in a row. I'm not gonna name any names, Matthew. But everything was good. The only thing I didn't do was use this card. This card was irrelevant all day. So I probably just take that out. So to the spells, so we'll do 3 linkage. Linkage was crazy. I only OTK'd once all day just because of the weird hands and hand traps and stuff. But you 1 card OTK if you have Ray in the open game state. And then we played 2 engage. I had to cop the alternate arts because, I did well with it, for the event. So they were cheap too, so if you don't have them, get them. Aside that, 2 afterburners. We played 1 shark cannon, 1 area 0, and 1 hornet drums, and then 3 effect Widow Anchor. Basically, best card out of the deck besides engage. And then the last Sky Striker card was the multi-roll. People are telling me to play 1 or 2, but I like it at 2 just because you need to see it because of Casteria, you Arise Heart and shit like that. So it's really annoying to lose a lot of your 1-ofs. So I rather play 2. Same thing with the afterburners because in weird game states you really need it. It was crazy though because I had field spell and this a lot of the time. So if I had a good board and they couldn't kill me and they tried to prevent Ray like this deals and stuff, I still always had a Ray to be able to pop and stuff like that. So that's cool. So into the non-engine stuff, 2 Pot Desires. Need another Secret German. I really like this, but it was kind of weird sometimes banishing some multiples of certain things. So it just means you have to play more optimally, which I was able to get to top cut that way. But aside that, if you're not know what you're doing, then just practice the deck a lot before you go to an event. 2 Lightning Storm, because I'm playing Go Second. I waited everyone go second except games 2s and 3s where in most cases it was just really weird. I knew what they were trying to do, mind game me and stuff like that. My last 2 rounds they made me go first and I was able to do stuff, but it's just really hard when I have all the go second stuff. But aside that, 3 Rust. Shout out to Kenny Felix, the Digimon player of the team who was Nationals recently this past year. Thanks for this because without this deck wouldn't have been able to run. I was able to get engaged. I got engaged, and I think that was it. No, and talents, and that was it. But you could also get Pot of Desires or Terraforming if you need the other stuff. So that's kind of cool utility.
Evenly matched too.
And yeah, the only other thing I got with it was evenly matched. And I played the 1-of. Upstart Goblin, 1 Rhoda, 1 Terraforming. I don't know how I feel about 1 Terraforming, 1 of the field spell. I mean, just because Droll's not in the format makes sense and it gives an extra spell count, but because you play Pot of Desires, I think it might conflict because my last match, I drew this off of Desires and I banished the fucking field spell. I was so tilted because if I had it, I think I could have made the game a little more interesting. I don't know if I won, but it would have been more interesting. It's 1 Talents, which is crazy because of the thrust, and then off the hand traps and stuff like that. And then that's it for everything besides the hand traps. So I'll move this out the way. 2 Veiler. It was solid, but I side him out against Cash because of Shifter. And Shifter is really crazy against this deck, but I was able to not lose to Shifter all day, so that was pretty cool. That was pretty much lucky. And then 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Imperm, 1 evenly matched for the rest of the deck. Mind you, again, this is Go Second, so forget. Most of the time I'm just blowing people out and trying to OTK, and if I wasn't OTKing, I was putting them in a position where their life points are lower than 2-3k, and then I still had hand traps, Array Engrave, and Widow Anchor, and two Widow Anchors or a Shark Cannon or something like that, or Imperm. So it's pretty crazy in most cases. But we'll go into the extra deck. So it's pretty standard extra deck. Everyone knows how Sky Strikers play. They play 3 blue, 3 red. I played 2 green. I wanted to play a 3rd, but I just couldn't find it in time for the tourney. So aside, I don't know what I would replace it though with. The extra deck is kind of fine, so I think you can just play 2.
2 is kind of standard now.
Yeah, it's kind of standard. And then I played one of the yellow, one of the Link 2. I wanted to play 2 of her low key because she was just a little better in most cases the rounds that I played over her. But you're supposed to play 1 and 1, but it just didn't come up for the pop. It was just really weird because I needed the second body that had to be the specific attributes. In most cases, I just had a Shizuku or the other blue or green, which is obviously not a dark or blue or dark and light, so I couldn't make her. Dark was pretty crazy. I killed someone's what's it called? The Rise Heart, the big XYZ.
A Rise Heart.
A Rise Heart. I killed it with afterburners, made this, stole it, swung, did like a lot of damage, and then I made Zeus over it. And the Zeus was dead, but it's like they weren't getting it back, so that was like the main point of it. And then I still had like an imperm, so that was cool. And yeah, anyway, I'll do the Link Monster. Access code Nightmare. Didn't summon either one of these, but they're there for like breaking boards and shit. But it's just didn't come up. I was just using straight Sky Striker engine for most of the day. And then the one Zeus, I only summoned it once that one time that I just mentioned. And then obviously the token. The only noteworthy thing I'll say is I'm not very good with this deck, but if you really can like know all your combos with this deck, I feel like this deck is very solid, especially in a local setting. You could probably get a regional invite with this. I would rate it out of 10, 7.5, if not a little higher, because I misplayed. But I got to 16 with just my base mechanics. Like I've been playing a little while, I would consider myself almost a veteran in the game. So like with that knowledge, I was able to, you know, get some free wins just with like using straight engine. But the problem I will say is if you do not open a Sky Striker monster or Winked or Engage, then it's wrong. But it didn't happen to me, so hopefully it doesn't happen to you. Besides that, please like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more Yu-Gi-Oh content for the next week and a half because it is national season and we will be attending. We have about 4 or 5 of us, our members, going to the event. So we'll try to be posting a lot of different content. We're doing giant cards. I'm gonna be in the main event, and hopefully one of our other players are in the main event as well. But the rest of us will be in the side events. So stay tuned to that. Maybe we'll get a sheet. Maybe we'll get prize cards, giant cards. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and that's all.